Follow-up in business sounds an obvious and fairly straightforward thing, you would think. Hello, my name is Greg Story. I'm the president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan and the best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We're coming to you from our High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the very business center of Tokyo. And this is part of a series of videos on doing business in Japan. And today I want to talk a little bit about follow-up. So there's sort of two elements of follow-up. One is you've come to an agreement and now it's your turn and your time to deliver on what you've been promising the client. That sounds straightforward, doesn't it? However, what's interesting about Japan is getting to the point of agreement is usually very elongated. It can take a long time to get there. The Japanese side's going through many internal discussions, making sure all the checks and balances are in place, getting the risk down, trying to harmonize across the different silos in the company, get some agreement, get a consensus on what should happen. So that sort of drags right out, takes forever. Then they say, okay. They flip the switch to okay, which in their head means, right, I want everything yesterday. Now in the West, we're a little bit the other way. We're like, get a quick decision, cut a deal, make an agreement, right, and then we slow down. And things take time for logistics to occur or delivery or factory to kick in or whatever it might be. That sort of slows things down relatively compared to the speed of the decision making. Japan's the opposite. So one of the things we've got to be very careful of is when we are preparing to get an agreement to remember, as soon as they say go, they really mean go. So you've got to have all your ducks in a row, as we say. I don't know where that idiom comes from, all your ducks in a row. But it means that everything's going to be ready to go. And every part of the organizational chain that needs to be involved is ready to go, ready to swing into action and make things happen very fast, because the Japanese side will be expecting things to happen very fast. The other part of follow-up is a trickier one. When we're doing business here, we have lots of meetings. As I said, it takes forever to get to a decision. So what winds up happening is you're meeting clients and you get to have a presentation and we're going to think about it, and they do think about it, but they take their sweet time in thinking about it. So you're not waiting around for them to finally come to a decision. You're off and running on the next potential deal, right? The next meeting, try and get the next deal done. And if you're not careful, it starts to drift. And you start to just keep adding all of these sort of in limbo potential deals, and you just keep adding more on the front. And you start to lose track of what you've already been talking to people about in the past, because they will take a long time. So one of the things that's really key is to have a good system of follow-up. That means, okay, I've had this discussion, they said they're going to follow up, so you have to actually calibrate. I will keep following up with them at this cadence, at this pace, at this regularity, to make sure that I don't lose touch with this buyer. And also to stimulate them, because guess what? After they've had their meeting with you, all the emails come in, they've got more meetings, they get busy. It also starts to drift as well internally. They haven't got everyone together, they're having trouble getting everyone together to talk about it, drift, and they get a little bit lost as well, because it's not that urgent to them normally. You're trying to sell to them, they're the buyer, they're not in a hurry. So we've got to be very careful that we've got a good system in place, and this is not easy. And I'm the world's biggest culprit in this case. I'm constantly out there trying to make contact with companies, have the meetings, get the sales going, and it starts to back up. It starts to occur that yes, that company, that's right, they haven't come back to me yet. I better get back in touch with them. But if you're just relying on memory, it'd be a nightmare, total nightmare. You've got to have a good system of follow-up, calibrated, regular follow-up. Get it into your diary, electronic or otherwise, that this company needs to be followed up. Remind yourself, yes, what's happening with it? How are we progressing with the decision on that discussion we had to buy our service or product? There's a busy life here in Tokyo, and yesterday lunchtime, I'm at a networking event. Last night, networking event. This morning, networking event. Today, lunchtime, networking event. I've got a wad of cards this deep of people I've met, actually maybe it's more like this deep, in the last 2 days. And I've got to sort through those. And there are some people there, I can just file them, put them in our CRM system. Then there are other people there, I need to reach out and contact them. But there were people like last week, same thing. and I've got to follow up with those people. Then there'll be things like next week, it'll be the same thing again. So it's just boom, 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 keeps moving. It is problematic. It is very problematic, but you need a good system. If you don't have that good system, you will lose touch with that potential buyer, and they will drift. They will drift. They will not be ringing you up saying, hey, listen, we haven't heard from you for 6 weeks. We're really keen to buy. Oh, I'd love that to happen. I'd love that to happen. Doesn't happen. We've got to go after them. So when they say go, they expect the follow-up to be instant. Yesterday is when they want it delivered. When you're having the meetings and you're getting the sales calls, but they're not getting you a definite answer immediately and they're sort of thinking about it, have a good follow-up system, keep touch, keep in track. And if you do, you will do a lot more business here in Japan.